yeah, the next we'll just need to do what else? So MCP server. So as I mentioned, we can create this file. So you can either create it here, so this new file at the top, or you can create it in the terminal. So you can do touch.mcp.json, enter, and you'll see it here. But yeah, if you do use this, you just have to make sure you create it at the top level. So if we go to context 7, we can just copy this and paste this here, or not here, in the .mcp.json file. And then you probably will need to restart the restart Claude, so or you can start a new session as well. So MCP, yeah, it doesn't see any. So you can do exit to leave, and then Claude, yeah. So it recognizes this file. So use this in all future MCP servers in this project. Yeah, and then if we do slash MCP, you'll see it here. You can press enter to see its tools. Yeah, this is just for this MCP server looks up the latest documentation, or it can look at different versions as well. But yeah, you can press escape to go back, or it mentions that as well. Escape to exit. Yeah, and so use the context 7 CP server to find Flutter docs on using the hero widget. Honestly, the AI models may know how to do this, but this is just an example. But yeah, the API might change for the hero widget. It's pretty simple. I don't think it would, but yeah, you never know. So you just have to accept all of these. And yeah. And yeah, this is free. You'll see tokens here, but we're not paying for anything. So yeah, we just have to wait a little bit. Should Sometimes it gives like a code snippet. I wasn't really specific, so I don't know. Okay, yeah. So it gives an example here, and it gives a description. So yeah, basically you can think of like a hero. Actually, we have a hero. I mean, they call that a hero on web, but this is called a hero widget, so this might be confusing. But it's usually like the banner. If you think of the banner on web, or the top level image on any page, or any image. Honestly, it could be a list view or anything. What the hero widget does is it kind of translates across both screens like seamlessly. Like the transition won't cover up the image, basically. You'll see here we have two images, and you have to give it a key as well. So you have this unique identifier. You have to specify the tag in the hero widget. I gave a pretty concrete example. Yeah, and they even created a custom widget. So yeah, you can. What I like to do with this is create a Markdown file um, with these details. And that way, let's say I'm just doing research, I want to reference this later, or yeah, sometimes, like when I'm using this locally on my desktop, I'll copy it like to my documents outside of the project directory. That way, if I switch branches, things like that, I don't have to keep switching back and forth. Or yeah. And also, if you don't want to commit this file, and maybe you just want to add it to documentation somewhere else. But yeah, documentation is good. We created the README. We don't have anything in it, but usually we can also tell it update the README file first, analyze the project. So we have this guide here. So we'll close this, and I believe it's this to preview. Yeah. So you can preview this Markdown file, the way it looks when it renders. Let's say like on GitHub or anywhere else. Yeah, and yeah, so we have like a nice documentation to look back at, and you can also create like mermaid diagrams. I'm not sure if it will render it without an extension in Firebase Studio. So this is basically Visual Studio Code online. But yeah, you may need an extension. But GitHub can render it without any extra setup. So yeah, that's another reason I brought that up. And you'll see this Markdown file. We can close these. Oops, I closed the page on accident. It, okay, we don't have to reset everything up. Oh, it's actually still running. That's nice. Ooh, I hope it didn't cut it off. Okay, it was still running and it finished. That's nice to know at least. It is running in the background, but preview the README. Or this is guide. So also set the project structure. Yeah, this is also good because you can have the LLM reference this. What I also like to do is create a contributing. So they have a section here, but um, for contributing instead of details in that section on the README. So what I like to do for the contributing Markdown file is give it to the LLM to use anytime it needs to add a new feature. And you can create these in different directories. So uh, let's say we have a services uh, directory or repositories directory for to make API requests or do anything local on the device. So I also do have that architecture setup that I mentioned before. Flutter also has the architecture guidelines somewhere. Where is it? It's actually not here. I have it. I believe I have it open. Okay, yeah. So yeah. Anyways, they have this architecture guide, and it's similar to Android Studio, or not Android Studio, the Android architecture guide. Um, yeah, and this is pretty new. Um, I mentioned this in the last video, like earlier this year. But yeah, this new architecture guide is new. Um, but yeah, I do a lot of Android development, so it looks very familiar or similar to the Android guide. And I kind of went over that in the last video, so I'm not going to do that this in this video. So you can click here, we can see the contributing guide. What I also like to say here is like best practices. So if we create like data models for um, the services or in the UI, we'll have different types of data models. We'll put that here. Any setup we need. Um, yeah, like our best practices basically. Following our architecture. So it's good to create an architecture, um, your initial architecture structure, a directory structure first. So kind of, I mean, that's basic what we have here. But we want to create something more detailed that will scale better. And yeah, I'll do that in another video. But yeah, this was just an example on how to do this. But yeah, I'll see you in another video. And yeah.